Greetings, world and family. I am Richard,
And I am Gary.
and together we are rocking Pandora's box.
Box!
Woo! We love you. Mwah!
Mwah.
How's it going, my brother?
Very well. And how's it going for you, Richard?
I'm doing good. It's been a tiring time, but right now, today, tired as I am, I feel good.
Yeah, yeah,
I feel
yeah,
great.
yeah, yeah. I have to say, I'm like you. Today, I'm feeling great, and I've actually been able to do some research and get my head together. But this last week has been a little bit different for me, to say the least. And I'll be honest with you. I've really struggled with those energies. And
Yeah.
I know we spoke about the 21st, 22nd, 23rd of September,
Mhm.
but I feel that I really took a kick in after that. So during that period, I was okay. And then straight afterwards, oh my God. And this last week has been a bit of a dragging yourself uphill with like a ball and
Yeah.
chain around your neck.
Yeah. You've been in a pickle, as they say in your area.
Oh, yes. A bit of a pickle, old chap.
Well, Gary, I think that because, I can say what I've been feeling within myself, talking to my friends, but also on the personal one-on-one Zooms, like you're not alone. There has been a great, great shift that has happened in the last week.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think this is what all of us have felt in one way or another because we are all wired differently, similar, but differently still.
Yeah.
So, with the ascension symptoms, with sleep patterns that are disoriented, or maybe vivid dreaming, like dreaming of music, whether songs that exist or made up songs that I'm channeling down. There's a lot right there. And, Gary, I think I did a video on this. I think, yeah, you saw it
Yeah.
last week on the
Yeah.
in between. And let's look at the old Dolores canon teachings, like one Gaia, and now it's merging into two Gaias. Fifth density dimension, third density and dimension. We are here right now. This line where they're almost like having an eclipse away from each other. This is what we've been feeling. And last week was very, very strange to me because I noticed it. People looked the same, but they felt different. Areas, situation, places, similar, but felt different. I even noticed with intelligence, like AI or Chat GPT or whatever, that it was different. Like
Yeah.
there was something so bizarre and surreal about last week. And I think this is why, all these ascension symptoms have been ramping up, sleep deprivation, foggy memory, not feeling more like we're sleepwalking. You got to pinch yourself. Am I really awake?
Yeah.
Food is boring right now. I don't enjoy food anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Weird.
yeah. I mean, you described it really, really well. I almost described it as being asleep, as in
Yes.
it was like the density or everything was so dense. I almost just switched off,
Yeah.
and so I felt completely disconnected to the realm. I felt disconnected to everybody else around me,
Mm.
and I mean, I actually went fishing. I
Okay. Oh yeah.
needed to get out in nature, and I didn't catch anything, and it didn't matter. It was just lovely to get out of
Mm.
the four walls and sit there for an entire day. We had a little bit of autumn sunshine. It was lovely, but I needed that just to
Mm.
kind of rebalance myself because I was
Yeah.
so discombobulated. That's a good word, isn't
Yes.
it?
Well, it's a word we all understand, right?
Yeah,
But that's very important that you bring this up because water is very, very, very important right now. Not only because it helps us ground and cleanse, but I talked about that in my last video too. Like the waters are very, very important in the month of October,
yeah,
whether it be the lakes, the oceans, our DNA, our blood. You know, everything is a liquid right now. So when you feel like that, yes, we all know about grounding, barefoot, ground, hug a tree, kiss a tree. But water is very, very cleansing. I feel that that element is probably one of the most important ones for anyone right now. And if you don't live by a lake or an ocean, like it's simple. Just grab some water, put some salt, have a foot rinse, foot soak, you know, water. So, and you felt better even if you didn't catch a fish,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Because
yeah.
it's not for me. It sounds strange. It's not about catching fish, you know.
No.
And I'm fishing for big fish, so you know, if I don't catch anything, it's part of the course, you know. But for me, the most important thing is getting out in nature, you know. I mean, I'm sitting there, and there's a little friendly robin that's begging for food,
Yeah.
you know, around me underneath the chair that I'm sitting on and stuff. There's long-tailed tits going across, going into the trees with their distinct little tweeps and that, and you know, I had a magpie then turned up and got all friendly with me and was like, you know, giving it, what's he up to, what's he doing, and of course because our energy is slightly different these days.
Mhm.
Um, I'll tell you something funny. I'll tell you something funny in a little while. Um, Birds and animals are more getting closer and closer to
Yes.
us, you know. And so it wasn't about catching the fish, Femi. It was about being out in nature and
Mhm.
just sitting there watching the water, a little bit of sun glazing, you know. But obviously during the day when the sun's out properly, I actually have my eyes closed because the sun is different. But you still got the sun coming through on
Oh,
your
yeah, it's the same
face.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And you know, grounding a bit, you know, and it was really, really nice. Now, animals getting or changing towards us, right?
Mhm.
At the moment, the Wizard of Oz um, seems to be a dog magnet.
Mm.
Any dog that we walk past at the moment, the dogs will literally do an about turn and drag their owner off towards us. It's really,
Mm.
really strange. And she went round her friends the other day, and her dog got onto her lap and stuck his paws over her shoulders and gave her a cuddle, which is very unlike this dog's behaviour. And so this is a really interesting observation of the frequencies of us really connecting more to animals currently. Because I know,
Yeah.
Richard, you love your animals, and for me, I'm sure you've noticed there's a slight change in Richard's background today. So so we don't have the squirrels to the side anymore, but yeah, with you, Richard, have you noticed? I mean, I know you have a lot of squirrels and animals around you all the
Mhm.
time, but have you noticed they're super more friendly, or when you're out and about, have you noticed this sort of like magnetism?
I have Gargar, and again, it's not like a cross promotional, but all these subjects I spoke of it in my last video, where like I saw clearly that the animals are going to get closer to humans. Their DNA has also upgraded. And even if we're not outside in nature, so rabbits, squirrels, birds, and all that, let's look at our family members, our cats, our dogs, our ferrets, whoever like lives with us. Look in their eyes. There's a new wisdom that's there. Looking into my cat's eyes, I can see like they already understand my soul, and I can have that telepathic conversation with them. Is it all English speaking or French? No, it comes in images, sensations, inner knowing. And that's all part of Gaia's great. What's the word I'm looking for? It's not a rescue, but I mean, she's back online. Everything, the trees, nature. We're there. The merge has happened, so we're gonna see the animals. I could see even like maybe deers coming closer to humans.
It's a
Sometimes,
reincarnation, isn't it? It's a
pardon me?
reincarnation of what we should have had, what we should have been all along, and it's this coming back to where we should be, vibrational frequency wise, with everything coming back.
Yes,
Beautiful.
yes. How it used to be a long, long time ago,
Yeah.
before the inversion, the hijack.
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
control our mind. Why
Yeah.
our mind? Because then they consume our light, because the hijack doesn't have light and needed us as a battery system. But now
Yeah.
we know. Now we're awake.
Yeah.
And our
We are.
mother is pulsating, and she is like the transmitter, and we are the receptors.
Yeah.
It's like a signal, a Wi Fi, a radio channel.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. Now, Richard, you said something very, very profound, and I think some of the Femi
That
might.
happens twice a year. What was it? I can't wait to hear.
No, you really did, and I think it's a point that we actually need to go back and labour on because for me this was a very, very profound point. Richard was talking about the two Earths needed that beautiful with it with his two crystal balls splitting,
Mhm,
and at the moment we are in that split. And in
mhm.
fact, the split may have even happened, but because the energies are so intermingled still, we're still kind of, we're still got that fingertip. We're touching by a fingertip.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now, or I've been speaking about, and I know Richard and I did mention this a few times on our shows previously, about the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd of September being really key important dates. Now, I'm wondering if the reason why we felt so kind of off last week
Mhm,
after those energies had really peaked. It's a bit like a hangover. Let's call it a hangover.
mhm,
You know,
mhm.
the drink party was on the 21st, 22nd, 23rd. Then we stopped drinking and then we had the hangover. And now we've finally got over the hangover. Do you think that, and again, we might only really see this in hindsight because of what's going on, but do you think that that was actually the initial split? Was that the split that we actually went through, and is that why we felt the way we did? What do you think, Richard?
Yes, yes, I'm saying a yes. Now, the thing also that we got to keep in mind is that our consciousness has been planted in 5D, density dimension, as the avatar is crystalline changing. But with that split, you got to keep in mind almost like the consciousness is already ground in. But now, what has to match up or catch up to the boat is the avatar, the template, the body, the vessel. So it's dragging a little bit in traffic. So that's why things have been so very weird because the avatar is joining up to already where the conscience is a more heightened, more crystalline. So that's what has happened right there with the split, right? And now we just got to catch up.
Yeah,
So it feels like a hangover. Yes, it feels like, we're sleeping when we're awake. It's just bizarre. Like,
yeah.
again, food even is like, ugh, like, do I have to eat?
Well,
You know?
potentially in the nearer future, we'll be eating less and less. Let's be fair, and the consumption of certain products will no longer be necessary. And I'm not going to go in any further than that because I think we all kind of know where we're headed with that one, and but it's really, really interesting now. Because we're saying the splits happened and we're hanging on by our fingertips at the moment, right? That
Yes.
doesn't mean that anybody that should not be coming with us will be left behind. These things take time, and so there is although the splits potentially just happened, there is a transition period of a year, 2 years, whatever it's going to be, where we're going to see I like to call it shenanigans on my channel.
Yeah.
We're going to see shenanigans, and these shenanigans that are coming along are going to be wake up calls to give everybody the opportunity to wake up, smell the roses, and make the choice, their higher self to make the choice of the split of whether we're going to go that way or that way.
Mhm.
Um, what are your thoughts on that one, Richard? Because because
Yeah.
people will worry about family members who are still kind of not really with it and hoping that they're going to get on board.
Yes, yes. Well, I don't think that it's just like one answer like fits all right here. I think there's a lot of different themes or possibilities that are involved. Now, I do know with the shift that has happened, okay, the Dolores Cannon thing, a decision had to be made there. Okay, so while the avatar is catching up to the consciousness, the crystalline awareness, a decision, because this is all about free will. So we all have to make a decision: where am I going? In which reality am I going? Am I going to go to like totally the 5D? Okay, this one, or am I going to like stay behind in the old one? Because some people are going to decide to go here and stay there, where they're going to merge with AI, right? That is a reality. Okay, that's there. I know it sounds psychedelic. It is, but let's not forget that we are living inside of a organic simulation. The universe is intelligence. I mean, if you just look through like what we could see as nebulas and all that, or inside the iris of the eye, how it looks like a nebula, it is all of a grand, grand, beautiful simulation. So I think that yes, we can wait, but those that we wait on is because they had made a some kind of a decision to go to the 5D. For whatever reason, they might be a little slower to wake up, and they have their own reasons. Again, it's not just one reason. You know, is it because, they've been more hijacked? Is it something that's got to do with ancestry, lineages? Does it come from trauma? Is it a newer soul, an older soul? There is just so many factors that one needs to consider around that. But the decision has been made. So even those who are still not fully awake, as we like to say as us, it's because they've made the decision with their higher self, their contract to merge over here, and they will wake up. Now, those ones, I think they're just going to vanish.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I think what we're starting to see now is a duality, very much so.
Yeah.
Now, I know Richard doesn't look at the news much at all or anything like
Nope,
that.
nope, nope, nope.
No. I still do because I'm into the financial side of stuff and I enjoy the finances. And so when you're looking at the financial stuff, you the news or news feeds come on some of the
Mhm.
channels I follow. Now, what I've noticed recently is a duality of news. So,
Okay.
for instance, a certain person will say something, okay, and it'll be released, and it'll be a big name. I'm not going to say who. Doesn't matter because I'm seeing this in across the board. It's starting to become
Hmm.
quite obvious. So somebody who's very important will say something, and the news feed will go mad.
Well, I think everyone figured out who you're talking about right now.
It could be Trump,
Hello.
but the news feed will go mad. The next day, another news feed will come on, or sometimes a little while later, another
Yes.
news feed will come on saying the complete opposite, right? Now, that is only possible when you have the fluctuation of the duality. Because remember, timelines are not fluid and straight. It's a whirlwind, it's a twist. And as these
Mhm.
twists are happening, they're going to cross over and then they come back again and cross over. Now, if you're to one side, this side, the news story here could be a 3D and this is 5D. Yeah.
Yes.
So as the news stories are going at the moment, we're getting this flux.
Mm.
And it's very interesting that what has been predicted biblically, and I know but they said in the end times or the times of the end, and I'm not saying the end times and we're all going to perish. I'm saying this is the time of the split, and so it
Yeah,
could
yes.
be classed as an end time.
Well,
So
it is, but in a good way.
correct. So this
Mm.
is an end of the time of this time going into a different time, and it was very clearly stated that we would not know the truth. And I always wondered what the hell did they mean by we won't know the truth. Well, when you've got two different news feeds on two different timelines crossing over from each other, you can find Trump saying one thing and you can find Trump saying exactly the opposite thing in the same 24-hour period, both reported upon, well, what one's true and what one's not.
Mhm. Yeah.
And for me, observing, not absorbing the information, I'm sitting there thinking, oh, what's going on? Why is this? I'm always, what's going on? And so with the split and what's going on, it makes perfect sense that we're still intermingled with the two timelines, and that will continue for some period of time. But we're getting this mixture, this wave effect of things coming in and things going out,
Yes.
and it's confusing as hell. What are your thoughts on that, Richard?
I love this. Thank you for bringing this up because I can see exactly what you're saying, and I see something else to the table. So, let's be kind and rewind. What we were talking about right now is when the merge happens, like those who are, we got to be patient for them to wake up and match up to our level. So they made a decision to go to the new heightened, but, they're just still slower, but their higher self made a decision to branch to the better heightened density. Now, with this, what you're saying, yes, I can see the flux going. Again, water, because this is a movement that's very much like water. But also, what happens for those who are asleep that did decide to go to the 5D template, but they're still sleeping. This two things coming out at once during this time right now. Perhaps it's like a tool, a spice to help them go like, whoa, like why is this saying this on the same person and at the same time that, and they're totally different. So that's how most of us woke up, right? Like, why is half the world saying the opposite from what the ones in control are saying is good for us? That's what made us wake up.
Yeah, because it
So
doesn't
it
make
could
sense.
be a
Yeah,
new level to help those ones that are a little in traffic to snap out of it. Because when you see that tennis game, like, I mean, if you're real at one point, you're going to go, whoa, something's wrong. Like, is it time for me to be responsible and start looking into it from my own self, my own research, tapping into my higher self? What does it resonate instead of just blindly following? Go right, go left, green light, red light. That's not what humans were supposed to be. We were never supposed to wait at a traffic light for green or red. We were made to be beautiful wild stallions of horses, parading with our beautiful flowing mane through the valleys of Gaia.
yeah, yeah. We were
Yeah.
no, and
I
that's
know
a
I went
very
a little far there, sorry, but
no, 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 no. That's perfect, and I think you bring up a very good point that this could be. How can we put this? We're going through the biggest transition that
yes.
that's probably happened in thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of years, millennia. Who knows time
I
wise? I
don't think
mean,
it's ever been done what's happening now because we were never put into a hijack situation like we did. Gaia was not ready for the hijack, the infiltration. It crept up, and then we have to submit or we lose all our babies.
yeah, yeah,
But what
yeah. No,
happens when, like you rest, you sleep, you plan, you create your army?
yeah, yeah,
And who is here? Atlas 31, Swan,
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah,
cap of Egypt that I keep
yeah,
seeing everywhere that I look, being
yeah,
restored energetically.
yeah, yeah. No,
Um,
I agree. I mean, I got a little vision about this a while ago, and
okay.
the way I saw it was that we have a multi-dimensional levels of timelines and frequencies. Okay, if you take one of those frequencies and overrun it totally to the point of destruction,
Hmm.
then those sentient beings, souls, those source players will never be able to move up, and those that are up who are connected to those will be fundamentally trapped and traumatized and cut off, and it could be the end of everything.
You got something there, buddy.
Everything.
Yeah.
And as the Wizard of Oz said to me, and I've said this before, this is back to the this is back to
I
the
gotta
future.
read this on the Wizard of Oz after about the dogs. I forgot.
Yes, please do. Yeah, bro, that would be lovely. So what it is we we are coming in to ensure that we go to the next dimension, because that means, or to the next opportunity. I mean, I know we call it 5D and 3D. We actually might still be technically in a 3D realm, but what we're doing is we're removing the 3D overlay patch from that and restoring Gaia to what it always should have been in the first place. Now, I know that sounds a bit crazy.
No, I
Uh,
get what you're saying, but I feel that I'm talking for myself. I'm anchored in 5D.
yeah, yeah,
I
obviously.
can still interact with 3D, but I'm not there.
No, no. But what we're doing is we're removing, or this 3D overlay, this thing that came in to feed off Lelouch and
Yeah.
control, is now finished. And the split is the finishing of that, which could also be why we had that sort of dull period, why we had the hangover. Because
Yes.
if something's pulled out of you,
Mm.
there will be almost a sense of loss, a sense of how can I put it? You're not anchored anywhere all of a sudden. A big part of what that energy that's been inside you all these years has suddenly been ripped out. You know, you're drinking and then you suddenly stop drinking and you get the hangover. And it makes sense that we had that hangover for an entire week because that thing was dragged out of us.
Beautifully said, Gargar. And you know what? I'm going to add another log to our fire pit right here. So this was like a crescendo, right? But what has happened for the last especially let's say almost decades right now, okay, when shutdowns and whatever happened, and many of us like became secluded and we became lonely because no one around us and our family or our friends would want to listen to our truths because we were crazy or conspiracy terrorist theorists to them terrorists.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
um so we've been sheltered, we've been alone, we've been um, disconnecting from a form of a social life. And I know because I see it, because I have Zooms every day, one-on-ones, and we all share the same story, the enlightened ones right now. And that was like for at least a decade or close to it, maybe 8 years, I'm not too sure. But feeling lonely and where's my soul tribe? And this would happen. It's like almost like the sink was clogged with a clunk of hair, and then we put Drano, and then this is what happened. So it's gonna feel intense what we lived through last week because for a decade we everything is slow and like, and then time started speeding up. Why? Because we see what's coming. It's not just us. I mean, we are the children of Gaia. Gaia's our mother. We have to take care of her,
Yeah.
and she will take care of us. This thing about how things were run in the past, no, nope,
No,
that's
no.
done. So I'm going off key right now. Did I answer your question? Did you
You
ask me a
did. You did.
question?
No, no, no. That's perfect. So, shall we do the Wizard of Oz cards,
Yes, of
and
course.
then maybe ask the cards: Are we correct in the fact that the reason why we felt so discombobulated was
Yes.
because we've actually broken free
Yes, absolutely.
of
I
that?
can I
You
can do
know,
the cards or the crystal ball or both.
well, that would be great. The
So
crystal
I'll let
ball.
you choose what you want. All right, so for the Wizard of Oz and with the canine Femi, okay, because I felt it right away as soon as you were talking, Gary, I could feel them and I saw like the difference because my higher self will show me images of how I relate to things. And they showed me, see, Richard, you have cats because you're a very 1 foot grounded here and 1 foot grounded in the ether, so that is what a cat does. Okay, so you have that. But I got for Mel because she does a lot of healings, doesn't she? Yeah,
He
her.
does.
And the dogs are man's best friend, so they help ground you. Okay, it's less in the ether, more grounded. And I saw like the whole canine species awakening, looking at her almost like a divine motherly alpha, not the kind of alpha that's ferocious as we'd assume, like the leader of a pack of wolves, but they recognize something in her and they want to help her ground because I'm seeing that she's often out of her body in her healings and there's something that needs to be grounded. So come in, man's best friend. While you're here, we're going to ground, especially that dog that's unusual that put the two paws right there because I'm seeing it's not a big dongle.
No, it's not. No, it wasn't. No.
No, like not at all.
Yeah, it's a
So
medium-sized, smallish dog. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So what I got around this is because we got the Hierophant here. So Femi, I know often I talk about the Hierophant as the creepy crawlies, but since like developing my beautiful relationship as we all have as the higher fives with Isabella, the Gypsy Queen, she made me realize that often this is when you become almost like a master of education, spiritual education, and Wizard of Oz, what she's been doing with her practice, with her healing, has become like a master of spirituality. Now, what is this? In a time where I don't know how connected she feels, or ungrounded, or safe or unsafe, but that's when keep to thyself. And then we got, what is this? The Emperor coming in. So that could be creator. That could be also that while the Wizard of Oz has been a mastering, becoming like a teacher of spiritual knowledge, she has bossed up to a level, and the dogs are coming to say, shh, you are safe and you are protected. I got you. I got your back.
Perfect. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that totally makes sense to me
She's
from
a beautiful, beautiful Wizard of Oz. Now, like
oh yeah.
like her heart and her hair. I mean, just like Farrah Fawcett back here, right? I mean, gorgeous. Lucky boy.
I'm very lucky. I'm totally blessed,
Yes,
I
and
am
she's
totally
nice
blessed.
too, and she's kind and caring, and Okay,
Very
I could feel
knowledgeable.
her. Shut up, Richard.
Yeah, yeah, she will be saying that as well.
I
Yeah.
just heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why she hides behind the curtain. But
So, what was your other question, my guy? Guy, you wanted me to look into what?
um this hangover that we had, this
The
this
Hangover,
this
yes.
discombobulation, is this because we have finally broken free of
Uh,
the 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 demonic entity, the energy that has been holding us back? Is this
uh,
is this the is this the split that we've been
uh.
talking about for? I mean, we've been talking about this since we first met. Let's be fair.
Yes, yes. And
7 months.
before we
I mean,
met, we were talking on our own places about this. The
yeah,
answer is yes, but let me see. Do you want cards or ball?
the ball, please. I would
Attaboy.
love to see the ball because
Okay.
okay,
Can you see the
Rich.
ball in the
Yes, we
recording? Should
can.
I?
We can. No, we
Is
can
it
see it
better like
perfectly.
that?
Perfect.
Okay. So, of course, my family, I'm going to grab a little bit of Florida water. I'm supposed to put it on a tissue, but I don't have tissues near me. So let me do this. This is my selenite. All right. So I'm going to follow by example the lead of our gypsy queen. So if you give me a little moment, I'll be right back. I got to focus on my breathing. Welcome back, Carter. Woo! Breathing's very important to ground babies. Like, I feel high. I used to do drugs when I was younger, and this is the best drug I've ever done. Breathing. We forget, don't we?
We do, we do.
All right. So, in regards to your question, yes, I see the split happening like lightning. And it's like a mist energy that's dispersing. There is a singularity area at the center that is pulsating. There are definitely two branches happening, and how it shows to me is like a bat with the two wings of a bat. They're going in different directions as a lightning strikes. I can see on top of the bat a halo, so the consciousness, the higher self. So I don't know why I'm seeing a bat per se, but it's clearly like a Dracula vampire bat. There's a halo. On top of it, there's a sun coming in, and okay, so I guess that would be like removing the parasites, is what I'm seeing. Because if we look at a vampire bat, I mean, I think bats are cute. They look like black cats, but I'm talking about the fruit bat. This is clearly a Dracula bat with a squish nose. So that would be alpha, like things that we're getting rid of.
Yeah.
Okay, so I do see, wow, okay, like auroras below, green, purple skies. They're coming down, and it feels like an angelic scanner scanning like zzz, and it's got a frequency like a it's not a it's not sucking in, it's disinfecting. Okay, so again I see waters, elders coming out of the waters, new species. I talked about this in my last video. I'm seeing mermaids, so I don't know how that's related to your question right there, but the waters, watch the waters. Because they're having funny movements right now. You were saying this before, Gary. Um, as above, so below, as within, as without. So light comes into darkness. It's an awakening, a cracking. I can see actually like reports of grounds, like earthquake and grounds cracking. No one's gonna fall in. Let's not panic. That's not it. It's a reawakening, a remembrance. Okay, dragons nature, forest dragons. So we got an army that's been building up, training, eating its spinach like Popeye the Sailor Man kind of energy. Felines, I see again, like there's old uh, like crystal DNA, Atlantis being restored and shaking up. So I'm seeing static right now. So that could have been like someone who has a heart failure and you go. That's what I'm seeing. There's electricity everywhere around the situation. That's highly emotional. People are feeling separated or divided. I see one human going into two directions, like this movement right here, needing to make a choice. Okay, so I don't even know how to explain this. I don't know if what I'm looking at is Roman or Egyptian. It feels like a cross or a crossover of the two. And I'm seeing like old letterings, glyphs. I don't even know how to read this, but old glyphs or sigils, they're gold, they're alive. Cats,
Past knowledge,
feline.
would that be? Would that be
Huh?
past? Would that be past knowledge coming
Yeah,
back
it's
in?
something of remembering coming back online. They're everywhere. With the history, I don't know why I want to say Roman, but there's something about Roman that's linked to Egypt. I know nothing about the fake history, but I'm seeing the two. There's a resemblance. I don't know how that works, Gary. Maybe after you can share because you're the brain here. Um, okay, here's Atlas. Atlas is coming in really, really fast. There is a lot of Lyrian felines on that ship. Not only that, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 levels. More, more. But those are like um, um, major levels. In between the levels, I'm seeing smaller. It's funny because it looks like there's. How do I explain this? So one massive, massive level that could be like a city, then another one on top, but in between the two, there's like a sub half one, and there's a lake there, and yeah, look to the skies. Auroras, but please help me. What's the word?
Aurora
Thank
Borealis, is it? Something like that.
Auroras, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, in unusual places, the colors are spectacular. Think about the sky having like the most beautiful, healthy orgasm. You know, like it's ecstasy, like there's energy and it's. Whew. Okay, so there are ships in the water rising. And the ships almost look different levels, like they're not flat or rectangular. Do they look like something that looks almost like like a mountain, like a natural or a house, but not a house that I've ever seen. It's got funny angles. There's a lot of beings in them, and it's rising from the water. It's not like a square house. It looks like a ship that looks like a natural mountain. Okay, so I'm seeing huh, the sign of the cross being dismantled somehow. There was a hijack with that. Um the sign of the cross, red. Oh, okay, sign of the cross, a hijack. I'm seeing also the Red Cross Institute with a pentagram beside it. What the hell does that mean? Okay, Red Cross is blood, water's blood, blood being activated. Pentagram, like the inversion of the pentagram. So Red Cross being used by dark ones to collect the red liquid. I know this is gonna sound funny, but the word pig just showed up. Pig. Is it because we were seen as pigs? Were pigs natural? Were they? A1, A1, A1. What would that be? A1. Okay, so there's going to be a lot of storms happening. There's lightning, movement shaking, but it's not like end world catastrophe. This is again.
Yeah.
Am I answering your question, Gary? Because I don't even remember
Yes.
what the question
Yeah.
was.
No. No. It was about is this the split, and
Oh,
it would
well, yes.
make and it would make And you know, this is the hangover of the split, and it makes perfect sense because
Okay.
what you described was that you saw that, and also you've then gone a bit further, and then you've shown that the Gaia, or Gaia, however you want to say it,
Our
comes back to
mother.
life. You know, with the electricity, and reasserting herself with the earthquakes. Apparently, there's a lot of earthquakes at the moment. They're just not reporting them. You know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I'm not talking devastation here.
But it's a good thing.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
an awakening.
yeah, yeah.
You know, when you've been dormant for so long and you start moving, what happens? Like body aches and cramps and skin cracking. Like people who are bedridden have like bed sores.
Yeah, 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 totally, totally.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting with the cross and the religion.
The cross, that was weird.
Well, I think when we go into the 5D properly,
Hmm.
religious constructs will fall to the ground
It
because
might be that, huh? It
because
might
they
be
are
that.
part of this 3D control mechanism. What do you
But
see
it's
with that?
also it's linked to the Red Cross somehow because I saw like a cross that people put on their walls,
Isn't
and I
isn't
saw also the Red Cross symbol, and I knew blood.
isn't Switzerland the Red Cross on the white background? Or is
Well,
it?
we have it here too. I think
Yeah, yeah.
everywhere, like the judgment card
Oh, it's
is
got that.
also
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah, and the British flag, you know,
Yes.
that's and the Georgian flag is also a red cross on white background. Yeah, sorry, the Swedish is
They've
red
been
and white.
stealing souls.
Yes, they have.
It's no, I mean like actually like taking the soul imprint and collecting it. Like the energy, like I never knew it worked that way, but that's what I'm being shown right now. Can I take a few cards on this,
Yes,
Gav?
please. Yes, please.
Florida water to the rescue. Woo woo. All right, higher self over soul. You know where I'm going right now. Let's talk about this, what I'm seeing now in the ball. So, okay. Please hold. Flip the hair.
Nice.
Yeah, so this is it. I was saying like Thievery of the Soul, death, happened really rapidly with the Knight of Wands, with a lot of passion, fire, energy coming in really fast with those symbols, whether it's a cross or the red cross. What I was seeing is like taking death, taking rapidly. Yes, look, there's my Khazarian kind of king, like a Rothschild. They were working really hard at doing it with the Eight of Pineapples. Flip. Yeah, they were collecting. This could be like an adrenochrome kind of card, as we know. That the Red Cross.
Judgment.
Yeah, but we're talking about that Red Cross, and look here. So yes, next in line comes Temperance. So that all is stopping. Future, back from war victorious with the Six of Wands, Four of Wands, crossing a portal, a celebration, marriage. Whenever we have a Reefs family, that's something to raise your hands and howl at the moon. It's high, high celebration. And then we end with new collaboration. So, yes, they were doing that. And upside down, we were talking exactly about this.
Yeah.
So that's what I saw because I actually saw like if you can visualize smoke fog looking like a soul, I saw it like moving, being captured, sucked out by a vacuum, or I'm trying to find words for what I saw.
Can I ask you a question for the cards again from this, please? Right.
You can ask me anything you want, my brother. Yes.
Was this the last desperate act of them harvesting what they could because they can no longer harvest? I'm talking about our loosh, our energy. Is
Yes.
that the last of what they're pulling in? fundamentally, is our loosh harvesting now finished?
I'm trying not to bang on the table because, as Gary said, I have a new setup, guys. And see what happens when I do that. It moves because it's a small glass table. And the reason why the cards are already done for your question, just remember the question. I have an urge to babble, as I do all the time. Why is Richard on this part of the kitchen? Because Femi, I've been doing a lot of videos and personal Zoom calls for over a year now, sitting at my kitchen counter, which is high rise. So therefore, I'm on a stool. Therefore, my feet never touch the ground. But you know, a stool, there's a bar there. So, like Gary said, which is so true, I was like a perched bird on a, uh, a branch, a tree branch for 1 year. So it started, giving me some nerve damage on my left leg. And so this chair is a gift from my mom because she wanted me to heal. And that's why I got the new setup so I can be comfortable for a longer period of time and I get to heal. So that's why, it might shake a little bit if I get a little too rowdy. All right. So you remember your question? What was it?
It was is this the end of the loosh taking? Is this
Okay.
was what you
Yes.
saw with the last of the pulling of our loosh?
Yes, this is a surrendering card, tensor ending, and that is something of the mind, something very stressful. So is it the end? That's an ending card. Next in line, because of that, what they did, they really stopped us from thriving, playing with our emotions, a stick in the wheel. This third wheel party only but did is bring sorrow, depression, questioning, doubt. Then we have, yes, we're going to like the how the Garden of Eden was originally made to be, how it was before that infiltration, that third wheel party, that stick in the wheels came in. Moving on, we do have, yes, because we're going, as you know, Gar, what does this card mean, my Gar? Tuck, my little tarot reader.
Brand new journey into the unknown and to the future.
Yeah, it's rebirth, really, yeah, like reincarnation at the heart to be in regards to the Khazar Mafia, who did, on top of it, have that stick in the wheel for us humanity. But again, as Isabella and brought me, we are all becoming like spiritual teachers through trial and error as well. Moving on, we do have in a time where we got to be good to ourselves, okay? Like with all this, huh? Care, relax, calm down, do like whatever kind of spoken or mental invocation or meditation. Meditation doesn't have to be like the way that we assume it has to be. Gary, when he goes fishing, that's meditation,
Yes.
right? Then for the future, we got the creator. Okay, so this is like really beautiful. What's going on? So yes, the answer is yes. Then we got the chariot. So that's the fastest moving card about universes the world over, about justice. And now we end with permanent healing with the temperance. So yes, that is the last ditch. They've already surrendered because all of the havoc, all of the nightmare that they did to the children of Gaia, that's not only humans, that's the animals, that is the forest, that is everything that is alive and sentient.
That's
Yes, the
real.
answer is yes.
Yeah, that's really good news, isn't it? I mean, that's brilliant. And it's very interesting when you had the three of swords and you
Yeah.
picked the other one up from that what was it? The red, it's a red cloak and it looks like white. It's red and white and it's red.
The Hierophant.
Yes. When
Yeah.
you look at the Hierophant, it's the red and white. And it's a cross. It looks like a
Oh, is
cross.
it?
It
I
looked
never
like that
noticed.
from me
Yeah.
from
Oh my God. Yes. Look. Yeah.
so that's the red and
Yes.
white cross, and
Yeah.
that's underneath the
Yeah.
three of swords, and the three of swords is red on white.
Look at my tarot reader over here. How come you don't do cards?
I do them privately, but I do not do them
Yeah.
because
See, you're
because
tapping into details that I didn't even see because I'm so busy babbling, like
yeah,
I'm in a
yeah.
rush.
So
But
the two
yeah,
sat over the top of each other, didn't they?
yeah, that's how they were. past, present,
and I'm
and
getting fluffy the goose.
heartbeat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and that's the red and the white. It's the
yeah,
cross,
yeah,
and it's the dismantling of the cross. Because when you look at that as well, you have two monks. So the Hierophant is standing above two monks, two religious people with the
Oh, there they
cross.
are. I never noticed them before. In the whole time I've always bypassed them. Isn't that? Oh, and there's your Janice.
Yes, so
Yeah,
twin pillars of control
yeah, yeah, yeah. Look at that.
inside of the red cross controlling the religion with the two monks stood there
Yeah.
to do the bidding of the Hierophant.
Yep. But see, again, I'm so glad that Isabella brought me to this because I always saw it. Because this is the thing, right? Like cards, like I never read a tarot booklet in my. I don't like reading. I'm not gonna read. The more that someone tells me to read, the more I'm gonna walk away. That's just the rebel that I am. So I go a lot with my intuition, and the way that I was raised with the cards was following by tarot by Janine, and often she would speak about this being the Khazarian mafia. So as I'm tapping to my higher self and watching Janine, like my higher self would bring this Khazarian mafia, but I love that Isabella like branched me out as in crystal ball reading. Now I can see it now. It's because before it used to be always negative. And it's funny because that represents the Taurus, the month of April. I'm a Taurus and I'm not a devil. So it was always like a funny energy. But now we are all becoming like the Wizard of Oz, a spiritual teacher.
Yeah, yeah,
See, we never know everything. I
no.
never pretended I know everything. I mean, I'm good. Am I great? Perhaps one day. But that's the thing. I want to thrive. I want to fly. I want to bloom. I want to peacock and be of service. Thank you, Gary, for our family, our
Yeah.
sisters, our brothers. You
Um,
know?
I'm here for service, and
Yes.
I don't know if any of you watched my show with Gordon. I did a
It was so
regression.
good. It was
Oh
so
my
good.
God.
Yeah.
And that's very, very powerful. Very powerful. So Gordon did a past life regression on me. This Gordon from the Peaceful Rebellion. He did a past life regression on me. And it wasn't just like to one place. Gordon asked me to write down some questions. So I wrote down several questions for Gordon to ask my higher self in the regression. So it's not like me going to one specific place and me living out my memory of that. This is a generalization of things that I've been up to in my past lives. And it was a very, very powerful experience for me. But also, there was a lot of very interesting information came out that I
Yes.
think is pertinent to the time we're in now. You know, so but it's
And I
very
love that. I love that your higher self did not want to explain or share about you in Egypt.
I know
Uh-huh.
was not having
Nope.
any of that. No, no, no. I mean,
Yeah,
the higher self then was like, well, Gary was there. Gary was involved in the building of the pyramid,
yeah.
but that's all you're getting. And I mean, what does that mean? I mean, was I a slave? Was I? So who
No,
knows?
no, 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 no,
I
no,
know I
no, no, no,
wasn't,
no,
but
no.
you know what I mean? It's
The information is being protected and it's soon going to come online, right? So it could be
yes,
a lot in could come in your dreams. It could come into inner knowings, flashbacks, deja vus. But the reason why you were not made to be made away is because that information is being kept secret for some sacred reason. Everything has a plan, and our higher selves, as part of the universe of creation, they know what the plan is. Like we're the ones struggling now. That's why it's important to connect to higher self. But that you have a lot of memory, and you saw downfalls of old worlds, my friends,
yes, yeah, I did.
and
Which
you
is
were heartbroken.
I was.
You were heartbroken.
Um, I personally know some more things about from my higher self about Egypt, and I'm not prepared to speak about them on the public channel. You know, there's no way that I would speak about them, but I know there's certain things, you know, but I also made me laugh in a way why my higher self went nope because I because I know as well, but but what was very funny, and one of the comments was really funny about it, is that I have a fear of heights, and I am terrible with heights. I mean, 3 steps up a ladder, and I'm like, I'm not liking this. I mean, 3 blooming steps, everyone, you know.
Yeah.
And it turns out that I was thrown off a castle wall,
Yes.
and I can see the castle, twin turrets, and the bit where you get the up and down, you know, I forget what they're called now, but the you know the embattlement part, and there's a
And your
wall.
back snapped in half. I just saw your back snap in half.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So 2 chaps either side of me and one behind me with a sharp implement, and I was thrown off, and
Mhm.
um, and that's why I've got a fear of heights. But also it came out that the reason why I was thrown off the side was I was trying to save people and I was trying to do good.
Yeah.
And again, this makes sense again to who I am and who, you know, the kind of personalities that we are. So it's
Yes.
fascinating, real fascinating, interesting stuff that goes into depths that you can then understand or see layers, because we all have questions about who we are and why we're the way we are. But when you start to then, you know, look at the DNA memory, the water memory within us, and the connection to source, because remember, it wasn't me as such that got thrown off that castle wall, but it was source, because I was connected to source via my higher self, and that version of me playing that version of me at that particular point in time. And so I have a higher self connection memory that we will soon be able to access that as well. I'm sure we will. I mean, what do
It's
you feel
already
about that?
here.
Yeah.
It's already here, but are you listening? Like you say, Gargar, like we all question, but are we listening? Are we really asking? Or are we just walking around like zombies, like curious? Like you got to do the work, right? The information is there. But what I tapped into you, it's not like a tragedy in Egypt because my higher self has no access to you in Egypt. Like I was shut. I'm talking about you in Atlantis. That's what broke your heart.
Yes,
And it's related to AI.
I know. And that's why and I'm getting flesh of the goose on this. And that's why I
That's why you
absolutely
have a hard time with AI now. Yeah.
and the word distrust and hatred are not strong enough words for me with
Oh no,
AI.
no. I well, you saw everyone you loved being
Going.
exterminated.
Yeah. And because I can feel the emotion in this, you know, I can feel it. I can feel the
Yeah.
energy. Um, and at the beginning of I asked, one of the questions was, why did I come in? And it was to save the universe. But the universe was Atlantis at the time for me, I believe. And I came in to try and save a civilization, and we failed and we got wiped out.
You
But
got
well, we I mean,
sorry.
you, because you were with me at the time. I tell you that now. You came in with me at the same time,
Yes.
and so did the Wizard of Oz and several other people we know.
Mhm.
We all came in at the same time.
Isabella, Jenny, like we could mention them. We were
Yeah,
all
yeah,
there.
yeah,
There's a
yeah. We did.
reason why we're the higher five.
Yes, there is. And
And the
and
Wizard of
oh,
Oz and back.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And also very likely Irene came in with us as well.
Yes.
Now, we came in because there was a need for us to come in at the time. Were we successful? No. Did we witness the fall of Gaia? Yes, we did. But we stayed in this realm because we knew, oh, I've got proper flesh of the goose on this
I
one.
know, I'm feeling it under my feet, yeah.
We came in and we stayed here, and we've had multiple lives. Some of them have been
Mhm.
amazing lives, and some of them have not been. But the key point is we came in and we've stuck around for this point in time now. And we
Hmm.
haven't even started kicking ass yet because we're really gonna. We are really gonna. And they know it. They know it.
Well, damn, who are they? Like, that's the thing. Like, we fear Day. Day is not even that strong. Like, I call them pig vomit.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they're the dumb elites, aren't they? You
I
know
mean,
that.
just I love pigs. I don't eat bacon.
No.
Like but imagine a barfing pig.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah,
what
yeah,
they are.
yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah,
that, the nostrils, and that's them. They have nothing left but the illusion of lording over us, installing fear. Like, oh my gosh, like so many of us have been saying that. I think Isabella said this recently, perhaps, or if we all stand up, what do you think is going to happen to them? They're a minority, like so much a minority. Let's think as an example, so we can all wrap our beautiful golden heads around this. Let's look at people who are transgenders. It's a minority. I think it's below 1%. And yet that below 1% try to change the world, make all the bathrooms unisex, and then going to kindergarten for drag queen storytelling. Now listen, I know some drag queens and I love them. I've met some transsexuals because I used to be a model and I love them. But they're a minority. That's what the creepy crawlies are, a minority.
yeah,
But they tried to change all of us, like, and in the example of transgenderism, all bathrooms. So a man that says, I got a beard, but I'll wear lipstick and I consider myself a woman, I'll go into a woman's bathroom with your like 6-year-old daughter. No.
yeah, yeah.
No.
No.
We rise up, we get rid of them, and that's the great awakening, the rising phoenix, the golden age, Gaia being sexy, like Farrah Fawcett, because she shows me I've channeled Gaia. It's just Richard, I get it. So she always comes to me like that young Farrah Fawcett on a white horse with the hair. And then I swoon. Oh. Can I
No,
can I go get a coffee
of course you
while
can.
you
Yeah,
talk to
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
Femi?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'll be right back, Femi.
Yes. So I mean, what Richard's talking about there, and what we're talking about is, you know, there's been a war, and there really has been a war, and what we're now in that position of is changing our mindsets. Um, we are free, and there's a lot of noise at the moment. There's a lot of shenanigans going on at the moment, and is it coming from the bad, or is it coming from the good? Who knows? Um, Again, it's this timelines, the zigzag, isn't it? Okay, so we're seeing certain things that are trying to be put into countries and placed upon us, and I'm not going to go too deep into this because I'm going to do some future shows on these subjects. But what's certain is that this is designed as a kick up the arse and a wake up for those that are sleeping. Remember, we're using the Donald Trump. We're saying one thing one week or one day, and the next thing another thing, and it's opposites because of the timeline switch. Well, if you can imagine that you're trying to wake somebody up, or you're trying to get somebody's subconscious, because this is subconscious levels. People don't always consciously think about things. They get a feeling, and their inner self, their higher self, the trinity of the sorry, the head and the gut brain down here. It's a trinity, and it's trying to push us into and get the body to wake up and feel what the brain is and the gut with the subconscious, and and spark that piece of, oh my god, we need to change. What is going on? As Richard quite rightly said, what's going on? And at some point in the very near future, these people are gonna have to do that. Oh my god, because if they don't, they're gonna get left behind. But it's their choice.
Yes, and also that's okay,
Yeah,
right? They're being left behind because we got to be responsible for our own soul aspect. Like it's our job. The more that we take responsibility for us and making the choice, then you can trigger others. You know, Gary, we were before we started filming, we were talking about show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are, right? Because what happens is when you gather and you get to like have affinity with someone and love someone, you start having maybe like expressions you share or you tap into their gifts and you expand,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we were talking, and I mean, like Richard's now doing doing the crystal ball, and I was lucky enough. He showed me his October prediction of and he's using the crystal ball, and I have to say it's one of the best thing Richard's done for a while. And I don't,
Oh, thank you.
and Richard's awesome, and I know we all love him, but this is another level. This is another level. So he's taken a step forward on another level. But we before the show we were talking, and and Richard said something that I hadn't really clicked with me because we're friends. I don't, it's just, and the first shows that we did was
Mhm,
me asking Richard questions about the things I knew about, and Richard would just pull cards. Okay,
mhm.
and Richard said to me at the time, I didn't really have a lot of knowledge on any of this stuff. I kind of had heard things or bits, but the depth of knowledge was not there. In the last month or two, Richard has been coming to me because I've been saying to because we were doing it weekly, and to come up with a show every week is quite difficult, And I was like, oh my God, what do we do this week? And Richard would come up to me and say, I think we should talk about this, and this is the research I've done, and this is kind of the format I was thinking of the show. And so I'd write it all down, and I'd be thinking, oh, that's brilliant. And it would also make me think because obviously the format of that show would then draw things that I'd kind of forgotten about or things that I wasn't really going to ever talk about to the forefront, so I could then pad the show out with a little bit of knowledge from the research that Richard's done. And so, as Richard says quite rightly, we grow from our friends,
We
and
do.
and it's not only a learning; it's a frequency thing. So the frequency of our friends in higher physical dimensions of certain aspects, we pick on that, we absorb that, and we grow, even if we're not aware of it.
That was beautifully said, my brother. Bravo. But, you know, I want to keep babbling on this, if I may.
Of course.
So, and this is what has happened, it's like, at first, like Gary said, like he asked me questions, I used my cards, but then as time developed and I grew, I started expanding. So I started doing meditations before or rocking Pandora's box. Then I started doing it every single day, like before doing a personal solo video or even on a one-on-one Zoom session with a family member. Like I'm just like tapping into, I'm expanding right here. And as I was going, it's like I'm gonna take this more seriously. Like I want to know with my meditations, like like where Gary is from. I want to be more of service. Doing cards is fun. I don't need cards. I can ask my higher self, but it's fun. It's a visual. It's interactive with you, Femi. And sometimes I'll get more details in the card of just like a yes or no what I tap into. But now, walk in the glorious Queen Isabella, and now show me who your friends, I'll tell you who you are. It's like I'm connecting to that energy. And I love it. And Gary just said that the sneak peek of my month of October spiritual predictions was probably the best one that he finds in The Wizard of Oz. His lovely Farrah Fawcett wife found that was the best one because that's a thing I need to expand. I love higher self. I love the cards. I love pendulum Aurélien. But there's more to me. And when I expand, what do I do? I help others expand. See, Isabella helped me expand, and I help Gary expand. He helps me expand, like Jenny, all of that. And then we are more of a service, hence the higher five. We don't think we're higher than anyone. It's like the higher self. And we got 5 digits, 2 arms, 2 legs, one head, the higher five, and we do that. High five. You know, the end. I went on a what's your word, tangent?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah, yeah. But it's true. I mean, I'm sure Richard will say the same for the shows he does with Honey and you know
I love
whoever else.
Honey.
You know, but when we do shows,
We should do a show with her for Pandora's Box.
we
Like
should.
I say this live here, but it's because I feel that she'd be so okay with that.
Yeah,
Would you
yeah,
love
yeah,
to have her on?
yeah. Of course. I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
Honey's
she's a
got. I mean,
sister. Yeah.
me and Honey talking about Tartaria and all the bits and pieces. We'd be going on for hours. I'm sure we would. But
Okay. Okay, let's see what I can
yeah,
do.
yeah. But
Oh, Femi, write in the comments, would you like to see that? Honey being the special guest of Rocking Pandora's Box. Yes, yes, yes.
yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
But the shows I do with and again Richard, the shows he does, with other people. It's not about us doing shows with other people to get looks, likes,
No.
and views. Okay, it's about us connecting with people that spiritually align with us, who bring worth or value to us, and we think will bring value to you. Okay, so I do shows with Gordon, Sonia, obviously Richard, Meten, and
Jenny, let's not forget Jenny. We
and we're just
love to buy tarot Jenny.
yeah, yeah,
Okay. I'm
and
very
I've just
protective around my little Jenny
of
guys.
course, and I've
Yes.
obviously I've just started I've done a couple of shows with Isabella now, obviously, and Jenny. It was my first one officially with Jenny, the other day. But all these shows that I do with other people, and I'm sure I don't wish to put words in Richard's mouth. It's not about us doing shows for the sake of shows. It's about us bringing value and knowledge
Yes.
and different perspectives. Now, I might not agree with everything everybody says on my show, who I have on my shows, but the perspective they bring and the value they bring and the openness to allow people, the beautiful Femi, viewers, whoever, who just click on, it allows them to come across new and exciting people with different ideas, different ways of looking at it. But the one thing we all have in common is we come from love and genuine,
Yes. Yes.
genuine kind of that energy is a genuine, grounded, out of love energy, and it's not about putting something over. It's not about wanting this sort of that. It's about getting a message across of love, unity, and growth.
Beautifully said, Gary. And if I might put another log onto our fire pits, because the thing is yes, like if we collaborate, we see something that we love in a person. I think it was the wind that slammed the door, not my mom, unless I was too loud. I am very loud.
No,
Um,
no.
where was I? So we love the people we collaborate with, but the thing is Gary is so right because, like, Gary and me might not agree on everything, but if we stop from collaborating because of those things, then that would be what the devil system did, which is suppression. I don't know everything. Gary doesn't know everything. Even though we don't see eye to eye, there might still be aspects of both our perspective that has a form of truth. It's just that we are feeling it on a different level. Ah, that's the thing, right?
Yeah, no. I mean, before we're talking about the timelines weaving.
Oh, I was talking like when I said we don't agree on
No.
you and AI, your
Yeah, yeah,
hatred
yeah,
for
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
That's what
But
I was
yeah,
referring
yeah.
to. Yeah.
I'm going now to take on the point about Richard saying that we see things differently. When
Uh-huh.
we see things differently, it's a similar energy. We're talking about the same kind of thing, but Richard might not quite have it pinned down, and I might not quite have it pinned down. We will have a conversation where we'll just talk about stuff. And suddenly, out of that, we'll pin something down where we think, oh my God. So when we're talking about the wave at the moment, I was talking to Richard because obviously I observe and don't absorb. So I have no fondness, hatred, love, whatever it is about Donald Trump, for instance. Okay. I don't care. I
You're
observe what's going
neutral,
neutral. I'm neutral. I observe what's going
whereas
on.
I love him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But but we were having a conversation before we started, and I said, "Look, Donald's saying this, and then next day it's this," and we're trying to figure out why. Because I knew it's two different kind of timelines almost, but I couldn't quite work out. And it was the fact that the timelines are doing this, and Richard enabled me by saying what he saw, what he was seeing, we're and everything else, and we put this together, and it was like, wow, yeah, now that makes perfect sense to me, and I can see it, and I can now move on and forget about it and move on, and then
Okay.
hopefully we can discuss that in this program, this show with you, to express and explain that what you're seeing may not be what is actually really happening because it's two different timelines that are interlinked and flowing around and so that's just one little example of the thing. So Richard and I will almost brainstorm at times before a show. Sometimes we speak
Oh
for
yeah,
20
for
minutes,
1 hour, guys.
1 hour.
So, you see this rock in Pandora's box at, I don't know what time, depending where you live in the world, but it starts off like I gotta meditate, I gotta do my hair, then we talk for an hour, then we feel like it's a whole day activity. This is why we decided to do it every second Sunday,
Yeah,
because you see an hour and a half, 2 hours, but it's like 5 hours, like
yeah,
making of a video
yeah.
altogether, right? Like you don't do your hair, but I'm sure that you do this in the mirror. Ah, home alone.
But there's also after the show, I then have to download the show,
Yeah, you do all the muscle.
upload it to Richard, upload it to me, sort all the bits and pieces out. And although it's easy, it takes time. So sometimes it can take me an hour and a half after the show to get stuff uploaded and stuff. And obviously that's the time that Richard then cook his lovely mummy's her food and bits and pieces. And so by the time Richard's finished doing that, he's got a show that he can then download and then upload and but it's a process that we love doing
We
because
do. We do.
because it it gives value to the audience, the beautiful feminine, and and uh, and hopefully it makes sense to you. So we'll say something that will go, it'll be an aha moment for you that will take the stress levels down because what we're talking about on this show fundamentally is the splits happened. We've felt a bit funny, but we're now at that stage where we can start to go, look, all this rubbish we're seeing is not for us. It's the movie
Mm.
playing out. Don't get sucked into it. Allow it to flow over you. Work on yourself. Do your meditations. Do the bits and pieces. And I think we're going to get more and more people coming to us in the future saying, "Oh, what's that about?" And you can start dropping a few things in, and I think they're going to be more receptive. That's a big change. We're seeing it already. We've been seeing it already for a while, but I think we're going to start seeing an upload of this kind of thing.
Yes, I agree, but I'm sorry. Maybe I'm not as mature, but I'm past the point of what's that all about? Well, you do your own fucking research. Like I've been screaming it and you blocked me at this point. But if people say like, "Oh, I resonate now," of course I'm gonna open up. But this like, explain it to me. Do your own research. Like, I'm done. Like, I feel like gay, yeah, it's enough. Enough is enough. Like, I don't deal with sarcasm. I'm not gonna feel it's not because I feel superior, but we've done the work. You, Gary, me, the Wizard of Oz, all of us, all of you, Femi, and we've been waiting patiently for
Yeah,
them to come out of the slumber. Like, someone comes to me like, oh yeah, prove yourself that you're right. Hey, hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. I'm definitely at the stage where I've got nothing to prove to anybody. If they
I'm
don't
not
like
doing
it,
it.
jog on. I mean, people
But
resonate.
we will give the time to people who
Of course.
like, oh wow, I'm awake. Of course, like
Yeah,
I do it all the time, like to some of my clients that I do Zooms, and I tell them if you got any questions, send me an email and I'll look into it. It's not a financial thing. I don't ask for an exchange. Just like you were saying earlier, please be kind and rewind. What you, Gary, what I'm doing, it's not for hits, it's not for popularity. We know what our mission is. We have a remembrance of who we were before and why we are here now. And we have actually lost money by doing what we do as opposed to doing what we might have once done. So,
yeah.
see, it's not about money.
No, it's not. It's not.
Donations are already always like appreciated and thank you for those. But we don't do anything for that. It's and we learn also as we have this discussion, Gar and me. As it's like almost like go to a psychologist, and the psychologist will just sit there and, oh, tell me about this emotion, and you actually like, oh, figure out what the problem was because you hear yourself talk. Does he really do any like real help or she? Like, no, it's because we're not used to talking out loud. And that's what happened in that decade where we were secluded, we were outcasted. We higher self talk out loud, have conversations. Your higher self should be seen as your best friend because it is your best friend. When I use Aurélien, that's my higher self.
Yeah,
I don't ask for entities to come in. No entities allowed to enter my vessel. I talk with Aurélien, right?
yeah.
Aurélien. Am I speaking the truth? Okay, so am I lying? See, we're already going to a no. And as you can see, there's no wind because my hair would be moving. See,
I
the
get
beauty
it.
of having hair.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
people
yeah.
think that we
I
manipulate things
know.
that,
I
uh,
mean, with mine, I actually get a pull. It pulls. So the more right I am, not only will it spin like like a helicopter. So just show the beautiful Femi a
ah,
yes. So it will spin and spin and spin. Yeah, but also I get a pull, and it pulls, and it actually the weight of it
oh
increases.
yeah, it's
So for me,
electric.
yeah, so for me to keep my hand perfectly still is virtually impossible because it's actually pulling as
Yeah.
it's going around, and then it'll hit my arm. And I mean, depending on where it hits my arm or the angle of it, is the percentage of what I'm getting and everything else.
But in order for you to move it because of your arm, do you know what you'd have to do? You'd have to be doing like a real
Yeah,
movement. Like, you know what you can do also because you have to lift, right? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Because but
See, look, it's doing it, and he's not spinning his shoulder, guys. It's just that lifting like this is not always easy. Right? Am I wrong, Aurélien? See, I'm going to a no right now. Uh,
and I'm going to know as well.
and that's the beauty, babies. All our pendulums are a higher self. It's not an entity, it's not an angelic. This is your higher self. Your higher self is the biggest archangel that you could like count on. He will never, ever, ever lie to. Oh, I got so many squirrels on the opposite window. They're everywhere. Feed. Do you mind if I go feed? There's too many. I'll go feed them and okay,
Yeah,
babble about pendulum. I'll be back.
yeah. I mean, with the pendulum, it's a completely different art form, really. Divining rods are the only thing. And led by Jenny will often, I say often, she'll use her divining rods. Now, perversely for me, um, the Wizard of Oz has got some divining rods, and they spin and they really work well for her. And I got these divining rods and I held them in my hand and they didn't move at all. And I'm not saying, oh, they moved. No, they were stationary and would not move in any way, shape, or form, which is crazy. So with the pendulum, it works for me, and you know, and again, I'm not moving my arm at all, and the pendulum will go backwards and forwards to show that it's ready to work with me. Now, as you can see, just like Richard, not moving my arm at all, and it gets bigger and bigger to the state which did hit me in the face. So the use of the pendulum is slightly different, and I mean the best pendulum um, user that I've ever seen is somebody called Raymond Grace, and Raymond Grace has a bullet on a chain. Um, has a six shooter in his holster and the cowboy gun, the cowboy boots, the hat, the full works. Amazing fella, and his hand moves a lot. And so when he's doing his pendulum, which is a bullet on the chain, his will be spinning and his hand will be doing this. And you think, really? It's been scientifically proven that he's cleared and cleaned water courses. Scientifically proven that he's done it through his intention, through the ability he has with that pendulum. So, just because someone's hands moving a bit, you can't keep it still. When you shuffle the cards, um, you watch people shuffle their cards, they'll shuffle them differently. Some people shuffle their cards and cards will jump out. Some people will shuffle and they split them three ways and they'll pick them up differently. And it's just exactly the same with the pendulum. It's
Yeah.
all different, but it's all the same because you're channeling in. And like Richard, very, very, very important. And Richard actually did me an invocation a month or two ago, and I say this invocation every single day because it's very powerful. And
That was made of love, and I have so much light codes in your invocation,
yeah,
Barbara.
yeah. And, but it's about protection, but only working with the higher self, your
Yes.
true higher self. And it's very, very important that because when you are, and I don't mean to be scary, but when you're going into the etheric world, the realm of energies, and I'm not saying there's good energies and bad energies as such, but what I'm saying is that some energies want their voice to be heard above your own, and they will come in and they will try and get their voice, and they won't always give you the correct answers.
Yes. And if I could add a third log to our fire pit today, my bro. This is a thing. How do I know that this is my higher self? You will, because that's the question I asked, because I knew it, that I wanted to ask Aurélien. You will feel electricity. Whether it's in the tip of your hands, in the palm of your hands, under your feet, or your solar plexus, communicating, there will always be an electrical current as a telltale sign, as opposed to it's moving and you feel nothing within the avatar.
Yeah, yeah,
Because we're all electricity babies.
we
We're
are.
all the god, like Thor, the god of lightning. We got water in us, we got electricity in us. You will feel it. Like right now, I got electricity everywhere. I can feel the silver chain. I can feel the moldavite. Every single tip is acting like laser beams. The palm of my hand. This one is being like funny, huh? That's a receptor. This is the transmitter, and yet I always hold it by that. I never even realized I did that. But am I accurate, Aurélien? Am I wrong? Again, watch my hair, it's not moving, or the plants. So there's no.
But there is not before there is a very slightest movement of your hand, but there has to be
But
because
that's the electricity that I'm feeling.
and also you're feeling the weight of something moving. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
you know but it's fascinating and but what is very interesting with me and my higher
yeah.
self is when I'm working with the higher five particularly, um My higher self is like, I'm playing this game because there's no, this is non-egonist, okay? So this is the non-ego part of of when you connect in, right? There's no ego between you and your higher self. You know, if you want to prove something with your higher self and the ego, you will not get true results. You know, because it's your ego, it's you're wanting to please something, or you're trying to do something. So when we do the higher five stuff, and we've obviously met um before that, and you know, done cards privately and stuff like that, my pendulum and my higher self goes, I ain't playing this game. And the reason why my pendulum doesn't want to work for me with the higher five is because there's nothing that my pendulum can bring to the table that is any different to what everyone else does. Okay. But my higher self will still give me knowings, and it will still give me words and all the bits and pieces. So I don't use the pendulum because there's no point in me using it, because my connection, if there's something I need to know, my higher self will give it to me, because I'm absolutely blessed to have these talented, super talented
Mm,
individuals. So why not sit back and let them do the work and show exactly what is happening, you know? And so I'm so blessed to have that. But but for me on my own shows, when I want to, when the pendulum agrees, okay? So I'll only do a pendulum show when my higher self and the pendulum says, yes, we want to do
yeah.
this, there's value in it. If my higher self doesn't think there's value in it, I get no. Just
Mm.
like when I was in regression and they asked about Egypt, it went no. Yeah, yeah.
A
And so
simple blunt. Nope.
nope, nope.
Ain't
But
happening.
yeah, but
Snap
that
out of it.
yeah, that's it. But that doesn't but that is the relationship I have with my higher self, and it's the quirks of me and my higher self, which is a personal connection that I have, and the understanding that I have with my higher self.
Yes. I also get, Gar, if I might add a fourth log to the fire pit, is because when it comes to the higher self, is you in our past lives, whenever we've collaborated, all five of us together, is that you've always been like a record keeper, something about the emotion, like calculating, keeping the information, keeping the codes alive, memorizing it. So with the high, because guys, it's Gary who came up with the higher five. It's all his doing. He's the one who reached out to me, to Isabella, to Jenny. It's all Gary, the master plan in back of everything that we see today, either with Rocking Pandora's Box, the higher five, or other separate collaborations. And you, when it comes to the higher five, is you are made to be what you were always there, like a record keeper.
Yeah,
So you're the host, like you said, the hostess with the mostest,
mostess.
right? Right? But that's what you do, right? Like you are there, and then you let everyone else like go in their own way, because we're all wired differently. Like, see, me and Jenny were very much alike. We're hyper.
Yeah,
She's an
in a
angel.
good
I'm
way.
a dragon,
Yeah,
but it's hyper energy. Isabella is like old root, no wing. Dragon mother, no wing. She's more calm. But I'll tell you what, she loves having fun and collaborations now.
yeah, she
You know
does.
what I was saying before? I was starting to get bored or jaded, and now I brought this because I want to expand. Perhaps like Isabella wants to expand as well. It's lonely doing videos alone. And then when you meet, like soul remembrance, family, and the gathering, this is what we all want. Where is my soul family? When am I going to? Well, it's happening.
Coming together.
So change happens, Femi. We got to embrace it. Ask your higher self, look for the electricity. Is it a good or bad change? You know, we're all going to expand. We're all tired of being alone. or offering something that doesn't expand, it's a rebirth. That's like the caterpillar going into hibernation, the hermit, and then blooming as the golden phoenix,
Yeah.
the butterfly.
Yeah.
Anyways, like I
No, no,
tangent.
and that no, that's brilliant as well because that then brings us
Yeah.
on to I research as you know all the regular femi know I do a lot of research and I never stop researching, which but that because I don't sit still. Just because I've learned something doesn't mean that that's the end of that. And
Oh, it never
I,
is. Yeah.
and it's a journey and it's a progress. And this
Mhm.
is the metamorphosis of us now. And so in a way, we've just come from the caterpillar and the chrysalis part of that, and we're now emerging as the butterfly. And that means we've got to learn all over again. It's another learning experience because we've never flown before.
Fighting.
We've never flown before in our
Yeah.
memory in this realm as we know it. And we're about to start flying for the
I
first
love that.
time. And this is
That's
key to what
beautiful.
we're talking about. The metamorphosis from the caterpillar to the chrysalis. So the hangman almost. You could say
Mhm.
we've gone on the fall, the hangman, and now I don't know whichever card it would be, but it'd be the next card of the journey of, and you could almost say we've then got the next suit of all the cards all the way up to, and that's where we're headed now, to the sun. Fundamental, it'd be the sun card, wouldn't it, Richard? That's where we are,
Yes.
and
Yes.
so we're now coming out of that stage, and we're in for actually quite a tricky time now,
Mm.
not in a bad way, but we're in coming up for a tricky time of remembrances, learnings, and blossoming like a flower
Yes.
should be. So the flower is now opening up to the sunshine, and that's exactly where we are at this time. And what a brilliant time to be. But also, it's a time of learning and keeping grounded and keeping our feet on the ground because
And ask permission to learn.
yeah,
Open up with your higher self and your inner child, because we work a lot on higher self, but we forget the inner child. He was forgotten. She was forgotten a long, long time ago. But the child was born with a connection to higher self. This is part of remembrance right now. And I'm getting the colors gold and lavender are very strong to focus on with your breath work. Water is very important. So again, you don't have an ocean, a lake, or river. Feel that's a water for your
yeah,
feet, a soak, a rinse, splash water in your face. Water is very, very, I think it's the most important now.
yeah,
Uh, Grounding barefoot in the mud, hugging trees, that works. It's water. It's all about the water. The water is like, I can feel electrical currents inside of my bloodstream.
yeah, yeah. Well, water's always been the most important thing, And
But
again,
now more than
lightning,
ever, it's a
yeah, but
purging. What does water do? You cry, you purge, you get over the hurt.
yeah, yeah. And lightning is actually plasma, and plasma is another form of water.
Yes, 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 yes. I love that, buddy.
But it's true. It's quantum entanglement, it's fluid dynamics. It's all. If you want to look at it in that respect, it's all how it is. So there we
Yes.
are. There we are. So with that, Richard, have you got anything else that you'd like to add in today's show, or do you think we've covered it quite well?
Well, I think
Like,
we covered it quite well, but if you want, I can put a last either crystal ball or cards as a farewell message to our glorious, golden, beautiful peacock of a family that is expanding their wings. What do you
well,
want?
I think we should finish with the crystal ball for a change because
All right.
that'd be really nice. And you actually read my mind because I was going to say, and what about a last message from the Femi? So a last message from the Femi
Well, yes. Show me who
via
your
the crystal
friends. Yeah.
ball.
All right.
And I
Florida
will stay
water.
quiet while Richard concentrates as well, just so that he can concentrate. Okay, so before when we had the quiet time, it's on purpose. Okay.
I'll be right back. Guys, don't forget your breath work. This is the best drug I've ever done in my life. I said that before. Huh? Ooh. Even I forget, but thank God. Oh, all right. Eyeballs on.
Would you like to lower your camera slightly so the Femi can see? Oh, there we go. There we go.
Yeah. I just had to switch because I have this little holder and I have my Egyptian holder. So you can see here.
Yeah, perfect.
No, I don't know who you are. How do I stop you? Remind me later. I'm so sorry. Okay, got it. No. There. All right, let's go. Message to the Golden Family. Okay, so we're gonna go into October because that's appropriate. We're going into October. All right, so what I see right here is there is definitely something into why are you calling me still? Decline. Did you hear everything or was that shut
Yeah,
off
no, that's
because
fine.
someone
That's
okay.
fine. That's fine.
Um So the vision I'm seeing coming from the ether, from the galaxy, is like a definite feminine energy. She's got that line, that mascara that branches out, which brings me to Egypt. She looks like humanoid and feline, and her third, I don't know if it's a ruby. It's not necessarily here, but it's up here. But she's got a beautiful jewelry that is igniting everything. Around her, I see a full star system branching out. I see one, two, I see one, two, one, two. What am I seeing here? One, one, two, three, four, five. Could it be 5 points and a sixth one was cut off? Gary, I don't know I don't know about pentagrams or stars, but I'm seeing 5 points, but I see 1/5 that's cut off.
Could
As the
be.
sixth one like snapped. I don't know what that means.
That could mean the end of what we've been has been controlling us.
It's a snap. It's broken. It's like it looks like a great white shark's tooth ripped out, and you wear it on a necklace. All right. Here we are. Here we are. Here we are. Here we are. Okay, so oh no, 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 no. There is no way we're gonna fail. There's restoration everywhere. Like I'm seeing coast to coast, ocean to ocean, land to sea, everything being like a laser, like cleansed. Dragons, water dragons, air dragons, They're working hand in hand. They're water serpents and air ones. They are twins. It's almost like one with two hands working, cleansing water, cleansing the air. That's where the electricity, the god of Thor comes in, god of lightning. Um, okay, deep, deep, deep Antarctica, dragons are emerging. One big one. One, a very old one. He's got a lot of knowledge in his eyes. His eyes are just like a flashlight. I don't know how, like, and he's not demonic, and this dragon, there's no way this is a primordial one. It feels like primordial masculine awakening to the call to primordial feminine. I am coming back. I've been sleeping. I've been sleeping. I've been sleeping. I've been being beneath the inner earth. I've been underneath. I've been slumbering. All right. So what is this? People are going to be jaded at first and not too sure, but they're going to start getting happier as more of their emotions are cleansed. Look at the sky. Birds are showing a lot of activity. Follow. Okay. So I'm seeing the sky almost like key lines. The birds are doing key lines. I usually see that on the ground or in the water that I call love lines with the whales, with the dolphins, and the sharks being the protectors. But now I'm seeing birds, a lot of activity with the birds. And it's not that they're dying, they're acting different. Yeah. Okay. So there's a black goose shadow around the moon, the sun that's been dispersed. Crystals are going to be popping out of Gaia everywhere. Costa Rica. I don't know what that is. It feels like India. Crystals coming out of the ground like dragon energy. Focus on your dragons, baby. You can call on to the dragon energy. Even if you don't know that you have like a dragon around you by name, you can call on to, because dragons are the first beings, sentient beings within the simulation of Gaia after the architects. And they are everywhere. And they want to collaborate. They want remembrance. They want to team up. Um, yeah, all their eggs were stolen a long time ago. That's why they left. Dragon eggs. And whoever stole their dragon eggs, they're done. This is not about putting a parasite on trial. I see a scorpion tail whipping. It's extermination. All right, so something is growing here. What is that? This is not Antarctica. It's not Egypt. What the hell is this? Um, I don't know anything about this area in the world, like zero. I'm getting the word sub, sub, suburbia? Suburbia? There's something growing there. Uh, oh, there's a lot of black stuff under there. Yeah, the stuff that Richard doesn't like to talk about because then he cries. The moon, yeah, the moon is cracking. There's a crack happening with the moon. There's something else coming in, and it has to do with Egypt. The moon in Egypt. I'm seeing the three pyramids of Giza. I see the Tesla sign for the electric cars. going down, washing away, being blown away, windstorm washing it away. I don't know why. There's a crack again from dark to light. Yeah, so we're totally going through the merge, like Gary was saying, like this, but now I'm getting it like bing and like this, like crisscross energy while something is growing from Gaia. Like it feels again like those big Superman, the original movie of Superman, the crystals, where he had to go, I don't know, recalibrate in Antarctica. Yeah, a new day, a new dawn. Like it is like free sailing. Birds again, watch the birds over the water, follow them, follow the direction. They're going to bring you to new islands that are either undiscovered or popping up. Follow the birds, look at the sky, watch what is coming out of the ocean. We're going to be okay, babies. If you've made the choice, which you have, you're good. So right now it's almost like a bit of nerve damage, twitching happening, but that's going to soothe out and recalibrate. And the water and the blood. Okay, so dolphins, think of dolphins, focus on dolphins, welcome the mermaids. The mermaids are coming back. There's going to be so many reportings on mermaids, and they're not the monsters. Like they always like evil eye, like feminine energy. So there you go. I think that's it.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
Did you
Yeah,
like it?
I did. I did. I didn't want to say too much when you asked me about the star because
Oh shit, someone's at the door. Wait.
yeah,
Coming!
yeah, I didn't want to say too much about the star. Um, but what Richard was describing was the star of Rembrandt. And for those of you who've watched my shows, um, then you probably want to watch my last or latest Fibonacci one that describes that and what that really truly is. And I'm not going to go any further into that one for sure. And also, a very interesting thing that Richard spoke about was land coming up from the sea. And there is actually, this has happened before. So I know I know that off the coast of Ireland, at one point a landmass rose. It's not volcanic out there or anything like that, but a landmass rose in the past, and it was discovered. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but it was discovered, and some years later it sank back down under the ocean again. But for a period of time, sailors were going to and from it, and it was, I think, semi-colonized for a while. So certainly very interesting reading. We assume that the land masses are solid as we've been taught, and that they are, tectonic plates and all that kind of stuff. And from my research, I don't believe that is quite correct. And so the land masses coming up is very interesting. So yeah, very interesting. Last crystal ball reading for us, and please take that message. The main message is that we're moving on, and the light's coming. So I've been saying that we're in the storm already, and we really truly are in the storm. And it's only during that storm period that we then come through. So there we go. Yeah, I was
Sorry,
just
it was someone that came for elections here in my district. They got elections for the mayor, and well, Richard doesn't vote.
no,
I don't subscribe to like the Hunger Games.
no. I just went over the star, the six-pointed star. That's
Oh
actually the
yes,
star.
what'd you say?
Well, that's actually the star of Rembrandt. which is the inner part of the Fibonacci sequence. It's the six petals.
Oh, okay. The one that we're not fans of. Yeah, I'm getting a yes. So that's what I saw broken off, like the great white shark tooth snapped off.
And that's why we've won and they've failed because it's been broken. So the
So
Fibonacci,
how does that relate to Egypt? Because she had like the eyeliner, like the Egyptian goddess. How does that relate?
because the Fibonacci sequence was placed inside the Great Pyramid of Giza,
There you go. Okay, thank you.
and it was a machine that ran, and inside if you take the lengths of everything and divide it by phi and pi, you get given certain dates. And
Okay.
when it ran as a machine, it uploaded information into the holography, but Fibonacci or phi and pi were part of that, which meant that there would be a period of time in the future where that information came across and the
Yeah.
Fibonacci would collapse. And then so the star is broken, allowing the split to happen as we're now seeing it.
What a brilliant decode, brother. Oh, do Home Alone just for me. Come on. Oh, he's so cute.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
you like
So
I love your mind.
well
I
I
love
I
your
did
mind.
I've done two shows fairly recently. One's on the Quist code, which is Gaia. It's this
Mm.
creational code where we're going. And I also did one on the Fibonacci sequence. And this is the star that you're seeing and the crack. But I also told the Femi about the land masses. And land has been known to come out of the sea and then go back down again.
Because that's
So
what I saw, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
but I can't remember when it was. It could be if I said a date, I'd be lying. But I know for a fact that an island appeared off Ireland, island as in UK, and it came up from the sea. It's not volcanic, and it came up, and it was found, and it was charted on naval charts. And I think that island was there for about 2 or 3 years. Then suddenly it just sunk out of the way.
Okay. Okay.
So when
But
you're
I'm seeing a
saying
lot of that, like, and
yes,
it's not the first time. I saw it on my October reading. I think that's coming out, guys. I think on Monday or Tuesday.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, and he like I'm seeing islands coming up. Like now I'm being sent. Do you remember the show Gilligan's Island?
Yeah,
Now
yeah,
I feel like what's on Gil. Oh shoot, I forget the song. But I'm being shown like traveling the storm and then like landing and I don't know if that was a new island, but a castaway, a new island. There's something there. New tribes are going to be shown. I'm just being shown. Like tribes, species, sentient beings that have always been around. We're going to be, hi, nice to meet you.
yeah.
That.
Well, but if we go to the conspiracy theorist side of things, why would we? Um, um, there was a TV show, and I forget what it was, but I saw this recently, and there's a map, and as they spun this atlas map, they had Australia, and to the side of Australia where there's no water, just water, no land masses at all, was a huge landmass. So it showed an island slightly smaller than Australia, Australia, and then New Zealand. And this was a TV show. And when they spun the map, and it was slowed down by somebody, and somebody said, "Well, they're showing us an island on the map that doesn't exist. I wonder
Yeah.
if that island does exist." And so when you're saying new islands, how many islands are out there that we've never been told about in the ocean that's massive? And we're meant to believe that there's all this space with nothing on it apart from water, where we have all this, you know, land mass. So it
Yeah.
kind of doesn't make sense. So it makes sense that there could be and would be other land masses. Now, if you think about it, if there was an advanced civilization on that landmass, they could easily um, make it that we couldn't see it, or they would certainly have an agreement with our governments that if we go anywhere near it, they get taken out. So why would they want to go near it?
Hmm.
Bit like Antarctica, in the middle of a war. Was it
Or
World War?
Roswell.
Yeah, yeah. But in Antarctica, in the middle of World War Two, all the countries that are fighting each other sat down by a table and signed the Atlantic Treaty to protect penguins. So yeah, here we go.
We got to protect the penguins. We got to protect the baby seals from seal clubbing. Yes. And that's what I love about Pamela Anderson beyond this is that she protected those baby seals.
Yeah,
Pamela Anderson did a lot of good.
but there's no seals in Antarctica. There's only penguins. It's the North
So,
Pole.
okay, so I guess
Yeah,
it was the seal. Okay, well, maybe it was in California then.
yeah, yes, yeah, 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 yeah.
But
But
okay,
yeah, yeah, yeah. But on Antarctica, it's a militarized zone, and nobody is allowed to go within 1,000 miles of Antarctica
right. Yeah.
unless you're on an official cruise ship, and then you can go to a certain point and area that tourists are allowed to go to, and then you go out again. So if you were to jump into a boat, a ship, a craft, and go to Antarctica, by the time you got to within 1,000 miles, a naval ship would be there saying, if you don't turn around, we're going to blow you out the water.
Like Roswell.
Yeah, it's all the same stuff. It's all the same sort of stuff.
I'm seeing a lot of stuff around Roswell as well that's going to be coming out very soon now. Area 51, Roswell.
Because something else that sort of springs to mind while we've got this crossover of timelines is that they're obviously going to try and do some kind of Operation Bluebeam thing where the aliens are coming, they're all bad and blah blah blah.
Yeah,
But in
it's not
actual
going to
fact,
work.
no, it's not going to work. In actual fact,
Not going to work.
I'm certain of the other, and that those aliens, not aliens, they're ourselves, multi-dimensional beings coming in to ensure that, as we said before, that the multi-dimensional sequence of our consciousness stays intact throughout all realms.
I get that Roswell was, it feels almost like a holding ground, like a prison, like trapping.
Very much. I mean,
Experiments.
yeah. Well, it's a bit like the
Oh,
Stranger Things.
experiment. Huh?
It's a bit like Stranger Things, isn't it?
Uh,
There will be bases or places where they've been doing some very strange experiments with off-worlders and also with
and
psychics.
humans.
Yeah,
Like think about like trying to play with DNA of dog and human. What I don't even
they've
know
done
if
it
I'm
wrong.
allowed to say his name here. HIT, you know who I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, but I'm not sure that one did. I think that was done by others.
but the like
Yeah, but it's
Dr.
all,
Death.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, who happened afterwards to go to America and work for the
Yeah,
CIA.
him. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, who worked Operation Paperclip, went to the CIA,
Yes,
and
him.
but he went to the CIA. He didn't go to the Nuremberg trials, did he?
Okay, so I'm seeing like Roswell, there's a whole crack in the foundation. It's going into five areas, not six, five. Five, the number of the human anatomy. We got two legs, two arms, one head. That's five digits. We got five fingers. We got five. Earth, fire, air, spirit. I'm missing one. Wind? No, that's air. Five. There's something I see Roswell. Something is cracking here. Roswell, I think we need to bring up maybe in a future show because it's all over the place right now. In my feeling in the ball, something's cracking. The number five is massive.
Well, there was.
Dude,
Uh,
it feels like almost like some beings were trapped in prison there that are off world. Does that make sense?
it does. Um, uh, it reminds me of something I was told or listened to years ago. And what was that? KRC Radio. KRC Radio. And there was a
Okay.
guy on KRC Radio. What's his name? I can't remember his name. And he he claimed to be a Palladian or half Palladian. And he had been on craft and all bits and pieces and could remember it. But he was taken somewhere, and it could be something like that. And inside this facility, deep, deep underground, it was a prison. They had all different species of, a bit like Men in Black. And he went down there, and he said it was like a prison with different species, like a Men in Black prison. But obviously,
Yes.
they were there not necessarily for things they've done wrong, but things so they could be observed and see if they could be
And
used.
it was like good or bad, like all mixed in between. Like it wasn't just, yeah, it was like every kind. Let's collect. Let's do a collection to analyze. So you can have like a good benevolent one side to side to a negative one. And that created an energy that was like loose harvesting at the same time. It's got a lot of levels, this that we're
Yeah,
tapping
like a
into.
zoo, like a zoo. So,
It's a zoo.
yeah,
And they like the drama.
yeah,
They like that the neighbors, because I'm seeing like a feline Lyrian beside a draconian reptile, and that energy, whoever was in control, Roswell, 51, was harvesting. It's like a vacuum. It feels like a bloodsucker. So what I'm showing is a leech sucking blood.
yeah. And it's interesting. It's area 51. 5 and 1 is 6. You're now seeing 5.
Yeah,
5 and 1, one digit
yeah.
broken.
The shark's tooth. Okay, so let's keep that for the next show.
I think that'd be a very good show, don't you?
Because I gotta go cook for mom now.
Yeah, yeah, and that'll take me a while to get the show uploaded, as we all know. So very interesting, and I think that'd be a really good thing to look at. And I'll try and remember a few more things about what I was told on that show, and see if I can remember some of the stuff that I was doing then. Hopefully, there's some back shows I can listen to, or very interesting stuff though. Very interesting stuff. So with
This
that,
was so much fun, my brother. Thank you. Thank you for being alive. Thank you for existing. Thank you for like being a home alone. Ah! He's so cute. And Femi, you know we love you with all of our hearts, and we want you to be good, kind to yourselves, and we will catch you all on the next episode of A Rocking Pandora's Box in 2 weeks.
we will. So bye bye, lovely Femi. Love, light, and blessings, everyone.
Ah,
Mwah!
hi, babies.